Welcome back, Chiefs Kingdom, to another KC Sports Report live stream. And before we get into this stream, I wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I know I had a good day yesterday. I hope you guys did as well. We got a lot to get to tonight. I know this is normally the night where we do Kingdom Call-In, but, obviously we didn't stream yesterday due to the fact that it was Christmas. So I thought that I would use this time to get my thoughts out on this game because there's a lot to cover. The 1 seed's on the line. We got a lot of players that are injured and are on the COVID list that cannot play. So there's a lot to break down about this game. But first, I must ask that you subscribe to this channel and like the video if you haven't already. I think we're 10 subscribers short of 4.5K, which is already half the way to 5,000, it's very good considering I think we hit 4K a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago tops. So the channel is growing very quickly, and I appreciate everybody for being here as always. And with that being said, I'll get into the questions and kind of give you my thoughts on this game. But I do ask that you try to get your questions out as soon as possible and give me your thoughts as well. So looking at the notes that I put down, the Falcons come to Kansas City to play the Chiefs at Arrowhead. Julio Jones is out. If you guys didn't know, Julio Jones is nursing a ankle injury. I want to say he's not going to play in this game, but the Falcons do have a good passing game, and I think that is an asset that a lot of teams sleep on. I mean, look at the Raiders. They went into Atlanta thinking that this team was a pushover, and the Falcons destroyed that team. So in my opinion, the Chiefs will win this game, but it is a trap game. If they don't take this game seriously, they're gonna fall behind, and especially going down the list on some of my notes, I mean, the Chiefs have a lot of issues as it currently stands. Currently, Anthony Hitchens and Damian Wilson are not going to play. Hitchens was on the COVID list. He's not really made any progress, and I think Wilson's injured. So our starting 2 linebackers are not going to play. And the Chiefs brought up, I believe, 3 practice squad linebackers. The ones that I have right now, oh, man. So our starting linebackers, as of right now, would be like Ben Neiman, Willie Gay, and Omari Cobb. And if you guys remember, I did a video during the summer over my my top undrafted free agents that the Chiefs did bring in. Cobb was up there, but, I mean, he'd basically be forced to start because the Chiefs are so low in the linebacker depth. So as it stands right now, Ben Neiman, Willie Gay, and Omari Cobb are our starting linebackers. But luckily for the Chiefs, the Falcons really don't run the ball very successfully. I know they have Todd Gurley, but they don't have a very good running game. So luckily that the game that all of our linebackers are out, we don't face a dominant running game. Because I'll tell you what, if this happened last week and we had to go up against Alvin Kamara, who I might add had 6 touchdowns yesterday, if we had Omari Cobb and Willie Gay and Neiman all starting, it wouldn't go over well. But luckily for the Chiefs, they're playing Todd Gurley, and I can't remember who else they have on their team, but it's not going to be much of a threat. The Falcons love to get a lot of yards through the air. I mean, Matt Ryan, I think, is 3rd in the NFL in passing yards, so they can throw the ball. But luckily for the Chiefs can defend against the pass. I want to see our defense improve because, I mean, heck, if we win this game, we wrap up the 1 seed. So that's very good news to hear. Yeah, like I said, if the Chiefs win this game, they secure the number 1 seed, and then in week 17, you can rest everybody. So this is a very big game, but at the same time, it's very winnable. So I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I know that there are a lot of questions on the defensive side of the ball right now, but I mean, when you boil it down, and I didn't really write much on this. I mean, the Chiefs are just a better team. At the end of the day, whatever the Falcons try to do, they're out Julio Jones. I know they have Calvin Ridley, and I can't remember. I want to say they've got a receiver named, what is his name? Gabe something. But it's not going to be enough. In the end, it's not going to be enough to beat a Chiefs team at home that's motivated to get that number 1 seed. I think that this could potentially be the last game that Patrick Mahomes starts this season. I think that they might rest him in week 17 against the Chargers if we do win this game. Because, I mean, at that point, what's the use of playing him? We have already got the 1 seed locked up. your playoff fate is basically determined on if Mahomes gets hurt or not, which I hope he doesn't, but that's why I think that this could be his final game of the regular season until playoff time. So with that being said, I've kind of talked enough about that. Let me get to your questions. I read a few of them previously, and I think that they kind of fit along with the theme of the preview. If we get the number 1 seed, what team do you think we will play in the divisional round? Well, if we get the number 1 seed, currently the 6th and the 7th seed, the Colts hold the 6th seed and the Dolphins hold the 7th seed, but I believe the Dolphins are actually losing right now to the Raiders. Let me actually check that really quick. But if they did lose that game, the Raiders are winning 7-3 in Las Vegas. If the Raiders won that game, the Dolphins would be in some trouble because the Ravens' schedule right now is not too difficult. I think that they will handle their business and get that 7 seed, but I think the Colts are pretty much a lock at this point. I don't think that they're going to move. Maybe they move up if they win that division, but I think that they're going to be in the playoffs and probably at that 6 seed. So I could see the Chiefs playing the Ravens or possibly even the Colts in the divisional round of the playoffs. We're going to have to wait and see, but I want to play the best teams because at the end of the day, I think that the Chiefs are capable of beating anyone. So I'll just be waiting to see, but I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I really am. What's up, Gary Holland? What's up, Cole? Good to see you. That's awesome, Gary. That's awesome. Let's see. Here we go. Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas and planning a New Year's. Yes, sir. I had a good Christmas. Hope you did too. All right, let me try to get to this. I might make predictions really quickly. I think I took the I took the Bucks cards. Let me check who I took today. I've kind of been falling behind on my predictions. I haven't really done a ton of prep this week for obvious reasons, but I haven't really been on top of it. So yesterday I picked the Saints. The Saints came through. I picked the Bucks. Oh wow, the Niners beat the Cardinals. So I got that one wrong. I picked the Dolphins over the Raiders. So we're gonna have to wait and see how that one ends up. But maybe the Raiders play spoiler and beat the Dolphins. That'd pretty much end their playoff hopes. They need a lot of help. Hope you had a great Christmas. I did. I got a jersey and the essential part. It's cool, Tony. Unconscious, conscious. With Hitchens out, would it make sense to use nickel defense so as to have Gay and Snead and Baker on the field at the same time? Honestly, they could do that. I don't think Baker's going to play tomorrow. I could be wrong. They're not confident in Baker yet. I don't really know what they're seeing from him. I haven't really heard any updates. I thought he was going to play last week, and he didn't. So they could play nickel defense, but I'm not too sure. I think that they're really going to play just the standard 4-3 and go with the guys that they've got. Let's see. Do you think that it would be wise not to rest anyone for the playoffs? The Ravens rested and that tactic didn't work. It's funny you said that because I've thought about that a lot. There's 2 scenarios that you could use. You could have your starters play like a quarter in that Chargers game, but you're also risking major injuries. So what's the point? I think that the problem is with the Ravens last year, they just weren't prepared. And I've seen it in every Lamar Jackson game. In the biggest of big games, he can't come through. That was more of a Lamar Jackson problem than it was the Ravens overall. I think the Chiefs could benefit from both because we're pretty banged up across the board. I think we've got a ton of injuries on the offensive line. I mean, I could see them doing, like I said, I could see them playing Mahomes and the starters like a quarter, maybe a half, but I cannot see them playing the full game, and they might not play him to begin with. So we'll wait and see, but I don't want them to risk injury. If you're going to get injured in the playoffs, because at least then you're not getting hurt in a meaningless game. Because if we win this week, this game or the next week, it basically means we'll probably rest all of our starters, and the game will probably go to the Chargers. But I mean, who really cares at that point? With injury to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, does Darwin Thompson get more touches just in case he has to back Bell up? I think that the problem is Darwin Thompson fumbles the ball too much. And if you guys have been watching this channel for a while, all of last year, if you guys remember, Michael Hepner was like, I don't think he's ready to be the starter yet. And this was before we had Clyde, and Damien at that point wasn't really playing fantastic. I wanted Thompson to be the starter. I really did. But I think that his time in Kansas City is pretty close to being done. I know he's like a second-year player, but when he's been on the field, he's shown glimpses of being a good player. But, I mean, you don't have very many opportunities in the NFL to make your mark. And I think that he fumbles the ball too much. He really cannot get yards on third down. And even when he was able to carry the ball, I would say it's a product of getting good blocking. So, you know, I like the kid. I don't think that he's going to be much of a part of this future, and I think that he could be gone after this year. I don't know if we cut him, but I can't see him backing him up, and I think that they're going to go with Darrell Williams instead, because Darrell Williams can at least block on third down. Darwin Thompson's an atrocious blocker. What's up, Casey Cast, Harmons, and Crazy Stories? It wouldn't be wise to trust anybody just yet because we're trying to go for that perfect record. I mean, I don't know if they need the perfect record. I just think that we gotta secure things tomorrow. That's the goal. Secure everything tomorrow, and you should be fine. In an interview, Matthews said the defense is getting better. Do you believe that, or is having Snead on the field giving that edge because everyone is calling for Gay to play? I think the defense is good. The problem is last year we could kind of see because the defense made a lot of big plays, and we noticed that. Last year the defense would hold a lot of teams to 3 and out. This year the defense isn't as efficient as it was last year. I think that they're getting the stops, but they're not coming until the opposing team can drive down the field and put themselves in field goal range. So, I mean, with that aspect, they're not the best, but I think this defense is good enough to win a Super Bowl. I really do. Snead is a big part of this defense. In his rookie year, he's been pretty good. So I think that the defense is getting better, but we're not going to see the defense that we saw last year. I just can't see that. Because last year, honestly, that defense was top 5 at the end. They were playing very well. Um, no problem, Tony. No problem. Um, as well as Hill, they said he won't be playing either. Oh, I did not hear about that. Hold on, I got to check that now. I did not know that Tyreek Hill was not going to play. I might be behind, but let me check that real quick. Last week I think he had some cramps, so he's questionable. Honestly, if he's questionable, just don't play him. I can't see any big reason why you play him and risk injury. I think you keep him out. It's the Falcons. We're gonna beat this team regardless. Um, let's see. Cobb could show out and end up being a monster linebacker. He could. He could. I was pretty high on him after the undrafted free agent signings. Let's see. Darcy, Mahomes, Kelce, and Hill will have huge games in your opinion. Mahomes is going to have a monster game. Mark my words. I think that the Falcons have one of the worst pass defenses in the league. That's going to be a big problem. Kelce's, I think, is 60 yards short of the tight end receiving record. He'll get that. I guess Hill might not play, so we're going to have to wait and see on that. But expect Mahomes and Kelce to both have pretty good days tomorrow. Let's see. Russell Gage, thank you for that. what's been really cold for a week and a half now, Flowery Branch, Georgia, where the Falcons practice facility is. So they'll be ready for a cold in Arrowhead. Yeah, it's pretty cold in Kansas City now, so it'll be a good game. Heading to the game tomorrow with family to represent the Chiefs Kingdom. Michael, wish us luck. Good luck, guys. Glad that you get to go. I'm gonna have to go to a game next year with all this COVID stuff behind us. What's up, dummy thick Phil? Glad to see you here. Hot and spicy mobile games. G Sean 1000 Roblox. That's definitely not 1,000. Let's see. Do you think Mahomes cements his MVP case in this game? Well, he has to. I think the Packers can also get the 1 seed locked up after this week as well. But right now, in my opinion, Patrick Mahomes is leading the MVP race. And if he just okay, again, the Falcons have one of the worst passing defenses in the league. You're at home. You're at home with all the weapons. You should have a monster game. So I really hope that he comes out and puts up very good numbers, because if he puts up 4 touchdowns and 300 yards, he's the MVP. I don't care what Rodgers' stats are. After the egg that he laid last week against the Panthers, if Mahomes has a very good game tomorrow, he's the MVP. Oh, Maximo, thank you for the donation. Happy holidays. Keep up the great job. I appreciate it, Maximo. I appreciate it. I see you donating all the time. I really appreciate it. Let's see. I think that we'll step up. Wait, my bad. I think we will still do well in the playoffs, even if we rest people. I agree. I don't think that that's going to be as much of an issue as everybody's making it up to be. What's Austin Ryder's contract status? I can't be the only one who's never been a fan of him and that wants to see Daniel Kilgore replace him. I also want to see Daniel Kilgore replace him. Right now, I think that a guy that I'm a pretty big fan of on the line, I'm a big Stefan Wisniewski fan. Last week, he was able to make his first start, I believe. So that was a very big addition to this offensive line. I mean, he played with us last year. I think he was the starting center when we won the Super Bowl. So he's a very big addition to this offensive line. But I'm not too sure on Ryder's contract status. I want to say it ends after either this year or next year, but Andy Reid's pretty loyal. I think that Kilgore is probably the better option, but Andy Reid is just so damn loyal that he likes to keep Ryder in there. So, we'll see. I think that if Mahomes has the kind of beating that he had last week against this Falcons pass rush, you got to put in someone better, because we got to protect the future here. I mean, we got to protect the future, and we can't have him just getting blown up. Let's see. Darcy, will the defensive line step up like they did last year in the playoffs? I sure hope so. I can't see Frank Clark making the impact that he did last year. I think he had like 5 sacks in the 3 playoff games. Frank needs to show us that he's worth it, because I really think that if he doesn't have a good game, or if he doesn't play well in the playoffs, we should think about maybe restructuring his deal or cutting him altogether, because he's not worth it. I think we're paying him $18 million this year, and that's only going to get more expensive as the years come on. And we can't afford that with Mahomes' contract and Kelce's contract, and Chris Jones is getting paid too. So I almost feel like you might have to renegotiate that, or maybe even bite the bullet and cut him and just eat that cap space. But we'll see. I hope that he plays better. Let's see. So we can still be good without Hill, but Hill is our best deep threat. Yep. Honestly, I need to see Sammy get some good touches again. Last week he had a pretty good week, so I want to see that again. Does the defense need to do more blitzes on first and second downs? Because I'm tired of being so predictable on third downs. Honestly, I don't think we should blitz on first and second downs, because, like, honestly, the blitzing on third downs hasn't even been working in some games. I mean, it kind of did last week, but I think we only had like 1 sack, maybe 2. But I think that you probably should do a better job of I don't know. Play. That's a good question. Should we blitz more on first and second downs? I would say no, just because I don't think that it will make much of a difference anyway. Um, I think that this Falcons offense is going to get off the field themselves. I don't think that you got to do throw everything at them on every down because they're going to pick that up too. Let's see. I'm a little bit worried about the playoffs. I've got a gut feeling we might lose a playoff game, but so far, even if we've been sloppy plays, I want to make sure my Chiefs make it through. Honestly, here's the thing. I don't want to sound cocky, but I'm going to sound cocky, so there you kind of have it. But I think that I cannot see a way that this Chiefs team loses. And I'm probably going to make a video about this because I've got pretty strong opinions about this, but the only team that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs are the Chiefs themselves. And here's why. The Chiefs are just such a talented team with the best quarterback in the game of football. You got the best receiving core, in my opinion, the best tight end. I mean, the Chiefs have to hurt themselves to lose a game. We saw that with the Raiders. If the Chiefs came out in the second half and could put up offensive points, we would have won. And that's the only game that we've lost this year. I mean, look at the Dolphins game. Mahomes had 3 picks. We had 5 turnovers altogether, and we still won that game. Pretty sizably, too. I know the final score was like 27 to, I want to say, or maybe it was like 31 to 27, but that game wasn't really close until the end. So I really think that come playoff time, we're going to tighten things up. This team is so talented that they're almost waiting for a challenge in the playoffs. They know that this really is not a big I mean, this is a big game, but they know that this isn't really the real deal. That comes January 9th, I believe, when the playoffs start, but the Chiefs are so talented that they don't have to play every game with everything they've got because they're just better than everybody else. So, I think that you got every right to be concerned about the playoffs. The playoffs make me nervous every year. I don't care how good your team is. I mean, last year I was scared to death. I'm not really scared, but you always get nervous. That's just playoff jitters. So that's normal. But I'm very confident about this team this year. I think that this could very well be the best team. This could very well be the best Chiefs team we've ever seen. In my opinion, they might be better than last year. Let's see. How's our offensive line looking up for tomorrow's game? What's your thoughts? Well, I don't really think that much has changed from last week. Fisher's going to play. Schwartz is out. I don't know what the heck is going on with Schwartz. Andy Reid's just kind of being quiet about that. I've heard some rumors that he might come back for the playoffs, but I'm not too confident about that at this point. We're gonna have to wait and see. But as far as I'm aware, the Falcons don't have a great pass rush. I think they traded away one of their best pass rushers. So I don't think that they're gonna put a ton of pressure on Mahomes with their front four, but if they do blitz, the Chiefs are going to have to pick that up. So the offensive line shouldn't be too much of a concern for tomorrow, but that's another reason why that bye week is so important. Give those offensive line guys a chance to heal up because that's a pretty banged up position for us at this time. What's up, Visionless Dave? Do you think the Raiders make the playoffs? Nope. They've got a 1% chance. They need to win out, and the Ravens and the Dolphins have to lose out. They legitimately have a 1% chance. I guess they're doing okay because they're beating the Dolphins right now, but they've got a 1% chance. I can't see it happening. Let's see. Well, I'm really far behind. Oops. How do you feel facing the Bills if it happens during the playoff run? I think that that's a good matchup for us. I think that the Bills aren't quite there yet. I think that they need another year. I don't know what they're really missing. I think that they need to maybe get some defensive pieces or another receiver or two. No, they need to establish a running game. I know they have Zach Moss and Devin Singletary, but they can't run the ball effectively. I think that is a matchup that really favors the Chiefs, especially because they'd have to come to Kansas City, in our house. We've already beaten them this year, and we didn't even play our best game. So I really think that the Bills might be the only team that has a chance of beating us. But even then, I think that we're very favorable against them. I would pick the Chiefs like 9 times out of 10. Over under 4 passing touchdowns for Mahomes tomorrow. Well, the smart bet would be to take the under, but I think he throws for exactly 4. What we're gonna have to wait and see though. Are you concerned about the O-line because of what happened in the Saints game? You know, Sean, that's a good question. I'm not too concerned because the Saints have a hell of a pass rush. Their front four can just put pressure on opposing teams' quarterbacks. That's normal. So that's not too big of a concern because, like I said, the Falcons' pass rush isn't that good. So I don't think that we're going to really face a pass rush like the Saints the rest of the year, and maybe not even in the playoffs as well. So right now, I'm not really concerned about this offensive line because the pass rushers that we're going up against in the next 2 weeks, I guess they're gonna play Ingram and Bosa in Week 17, but they don't really concern me. They really don't. So I wouldn't say that that's much of a problem. Um, let's see. Should the Chiefs cut any players? You concerned for next year? I think that Demarcus Robinson's got to get his ass out of here. I don't know why we still keep him. I guess he's good with the chemistry in the locker room, but dude, that guy makes way too many mistakes. I mean, he's got somewhat good hands. He'll make really tough catches, but then he'll drop the easy ones. And I think that if you could find a guy to replace him in the draft, maybe you do it. I don't think Demarcus Robinson is that important. I really don't. He's not much of a he's not really much of a big player on this team. LJ Snead should have went to the Pro Bowl instead of Frank. I mean that's not really how it works. I would agree. Frank is not good this year or has been in the Chiefs uniform, but the cornerback group for the Pro Bowl is pretty stacked right now, and you don't really see a lot of first year DBs go to the Pro Bowl. We need to restructure Frank's contract. If we cut him this year, we'd have $7 million dead cap. I think that we restructure before we cut him. If he doesn't restructure, you might as well cut him. Um, I think that he's just not worth it. He's just not worth it. So if you could find a way to restructure it, I'd be really happy about it. But if you got to cut him all together, I guess that's just what's got to happen. It's not really worth our time. What's up, Billy? Good to see you, Billy. Um, what did I jinx? Um, whoa. Okay, sorry, I'm a little bit behind. The world wants us to fail, and I hope that the players know that we are the most underrated champions. Do you think Mahomes will ever be feared as much as Jordan and Kobe were? If he wins it this year, he will be. I mean, Mahomes is going to be that Michael Jordan of the NFL. I mean, when you have him on your team, you always know that you're going to have a chance to win it. So I think that that's a good thing. I don't know if he's going to be feared as much as those guys, but if we win it this year, he's going to have a lot of success in his career moving forward, and he's got a very good shot to become the GOAT. I really believe that. I mean, hell, he'd had 2 rings in his first 3 years as a starter. Um, Darcy, do you think that Bell will, as the full-time running back for next 2 weeks? I mean, we're not getting Clyde back. From what I've seen, Clyde's not coming back until the playoffs, and even then, it's a question mark with a high ankle sprain and a hip injury. So, don't expect him to come back. But I guess by default, Bell would be the starter. But I wouldn't even be surprised if they put in Darrell Williams as well, because at least he can get those tough yards and block on third down. So we'll wait and see. But something tells me that we're going to see something tells me we're going to see a lot of Darrell Williams. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of what I'm feeling. Everyone is saying that Eric Bieniemy will be going to the Texans. What do you think about that? I don't like it. I mean, he could. I think that that's more likely than him going to like the Jets. But I think that Eric Bieniemy could very well stay here. I don't think that he's really itching to go somewhere. I think that he kind of knows that when Andy Reid retires, he'll be the head coach. And I think that he'd be a very good head coach. If the Chiefs did lose him, we'd get 2 third-round draft picks because of the Rooney Rule. I think it's kind of dumb. It would benefit the Chiefs, but I don't really like it. So I don't really know if he'd go to the Texans. They're kind of a mess right now, but I mean, he could. I don't think that it'd be a major loss because I think that Andy Reid kind of runs this offense, but I definitely want to keep EB here if he wants to stay. Michael, please make an early Chiefs 7-round mock draft. I'll do that in the offseason. Right now, we got a ton of playoff stuff coming, and it's in the works. The hype videos are going to start rolling out come playoff time at the end of the season. We'll get the mock draft stuff out. I want to say like a month after the Super Bowl, hopefully, because at least then we're going to get a little bit more of an audience that's focused towards the draft. Let's see. Falcons have Grady Jarrett. That's the best pass rusher who is the defensive tackle that they have. I didn't even know who that guy is. I know they had somebody that they traded away, but I didn't even know who that dude was. I'm not saying the Chiefs are unbeatable, but they are the most complete team in football right now. I would agree. I would ask that right now for the 80 people that are watching, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I think that we're at 4.49K. I mean, I'm going to refresh and see where we're at right now, but we're very close to 4,500 subscribers. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and help us get to 4,500. Let's see. I'll try to catch up to all your questions. Sometimes it's confusing because I talk a lot, so I got to kind of catch up. D-Rob is the Dwayne Bowe of this year's team. Well, at least Dwayne Bowe is good in the beginning. D-Rob is not good to begin with, so yeah. Let's see. Will we have Saunders back for the run? Dude, I don't know what's going on with Saunders. I think he had a dislocated elbow in like I want to say September, and he's still not back yet. I don't understand why. I don't get it. Maybe they're just not confident with him. I don't think so. I mean, they still have him on the roster. He's not on IR, so maybe they think he can come back, but I can't see it. I think that they would have already played Saunders by now, and it just wouldn't make a ton of sense for them to play him in the playoffs when he's a second-year player who's got very little experience. I mean, very little experience. Yeah, I'd like to see him back, but I don't think so. I feel Frank Clark is saving up his energy for the playoffs. Do you believe that? I mean, I'd like to believe that. I would love to believe that, but we're going to have to see it because, I mean, no offense to Frank Clark. I like Frank Clark as a dude. I think he's a really good leader on the field, but I mean, why? Okay, so he said, I think in an interview a couple weeks ago, he goes, "Well, I don't really care about sacks. Sacks are just one aspect of my game, and I don't think that you should measure me completely in sacks." And while that is true, when you got 5 sacks through 14 weeks of the season, that's really bad. I mean, that's really bad. We're paying you like a top tier defensive lineman, or defensive end rather, and you're only getting 5 sacks a year. I mean, dude, we're paying you to get to the quarterback, and you can't do that. So, I mean, I think that that's kind of an easy excuse and an easy cop out, but I'd love to believe with that. I'd love to believe that is true, that he is just saving up his energy, but I just think I don't think he's good. I think that he's got a lot of problems getting off of his blocks, and he just can't do it. Do you think the Chiefs draft a wide receiver in this draft, and how early? It's a long way away. I haven't really thought about it much. I'd be kind of disappointed if they did. I think that this is the draft that you go offensive line, and linebackers, maybe a defensive end. So I think that would be pretty foolish, but we'll see. Why are you talking about this game? You know who going to win, and you have an overrated team. All right, we'll see. Did the Chiefs activate uh T. Thompson running back for this game? T. Thompson. I think Tedrick Thompson was the safety, and we don't have him anymore. Darwin Thompson, I believe, is active, but I can't see him playing in this game. If Pat Mahomes has a day of 3 TDs and 400 yards, we'll make him the lock for the MVP. Unless Rodgers goes for like 5 touchdowns and like 500 yards, yeah. But if Mahomes does do that, he's going to be a pretty tough guy to beat. We need to resign Pringle and Watkins and let Robinson go. I think that the only guy that I'd like to see back out of that group would be Byron Pringle. I think that he's looked pretty good in the opportunities that he's got. Sammy's a good option, but he just can't stay healthy. We're basically paying him to get hurt middle of the season and then come back later. So, I mean, I guess if Watkins takes a pay cut, I'm okay with him coming back. But the only guy that I want to see back from that list would be Pringle. How many offensive line do you think that that Brett Veach will draft? We need a better O line. Yeah, it's hard to say right now. I think that I would say we probably draft like 2. And remember, we're getting Niang back next year. I believe he's a right tackle who opted out because of the COVID scare. So we're getting him back next year. He'll play in I guess, his second season, but it's basically his rookie year. So we'll see what he can do. But I think that the offensive line, we can't really complain because when you look at what's happened to it, I mean, Brett Veach did everything in his power to make it better. He brought in guys like Kilgore, Wisniewski, and before the season, I mean, LDT was solid at, I believe, right guard, and um our our backup right tackle, the guy we drafted in the 3rd round, opted out. So he had guys put in place to succeed, but it just didn't happen like that. And some stuff that he couldn't really even control kind of came in the way. So I think that next year we'll see a better result. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. All right, let me try to catch up on some of these questions. Um, would you like to see Trayshawn Wharton slide out to defensive end more? He's impressed me this season. I think that he's played some snaps at D end, him and Okafor. Honestly, I'm not too sure. He has been impressive, don't get me wrong, but he's a short-term option and not a long-term option. I can't see him um making a huge impact in the future. But hey, if his time to shine now, he might as well go out there and give it his best shot. I agree that who I want to, we need a center bad. We could use a center, but let's see. Let's see. Hey, Michael, I already purchased your merchandise before the holidays started, so it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks for my merchandise, that shipping in my front door, but I'm very excited. Well, I'm glad you purchased it, but I didn't get any notifications, so I'll check. Um, I'll check to make sure everything went through, but I'll have to make sure because I didn't see anything, but I appreciate it, Tony. I really hope you enjoy it. Let's see. Mahomes better stat pad going out of this game like Rodgers does and get his MVP. I hope he gets MVP, but at the end of the day, I think that he'll get Super Bowl MVP. Tardif did say he would be back next year. He wants to play. It's just this year wasn't really in the cards for him. Oh, I'm gonna try to catch up on all these questions really quickly. Do you think that as far as it goes, Clark, maybe suffering from last year's neck injury and maybe he's just keeping it quiet? I mean, I really hope not. You don't like to see guys get injured and keep quiet because we kind of need to know. Um, it could be part of it. I think that somebody actually told me before that he's got like a blood condition or something like that. Like he actually has genuine like problems in his hands or something like that. So I'm not too sure, but I think he's just having a lot of problems getting off his blocks. I don't think that that's really an injury part. I just don't think he's any good. We haven't seen him. I mean, he's been healthy. He just hasn't looked good. Um, Darcy, Chiefs need to start thinking about drafting I think that's a tight end next year. Your opinion? TO. Or is it offensive tackle or tight end? I would say that, honestly, Kelce's putting up the best numbers of his career. I don't think that it'd make a ton of sense to draft a tight end right now. I really think that it's offensive line time and defense, but we'll see. Um, let's How many TDs from Mahomes you want to see in this game coming up? I say 4. If he gets 4, he's the MVP. 4 and 300, 350, he will be the MVP. If we lose Sammy Watkins and DeMarcus Robinson this offseason, do you think that Mecole Hardman will be ready for our number 2? Yeah, I do. I think that Mecole has looked good. I mean, he had a fantastic catch in that Saints game, and it really helped us. But I can't see us retaining both Watkins and Robinson. One of those guys is going to go. But we'll see. I think that he could be ready, but we might draft another guy as insurance as well. Maybe even Pringle steps up. I like Pringle a lot. Is Mitchell Schwartz going to play in these playoffs? It's hard to say. It really is hard to say. I think that he wants to play, but at the same time, I think that back injury that he's dealing with, it's pretty serious. I mean, Andy Reid says that they're taking it one game at a time, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I'm not too optimistic about it. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. At the end of the day, we're just gonna have to move on. Because I think that this is his last year, regardless. Even if he does come back to play, but I think that back injury is kind of ended it for Mitchell Schwartz. Tight end, yeah, I don't think that we draft a tight end this year because like Hot and Spicy Mobile Game said, Kelce's contract was a bargain. I mean, the man's the best tight end in the league. I don't want to hear it. That Kittle's better. No, he's not. It's Travis Kelce. And in my opinion, he could go down as one of the best of all time. I think that he's got all those intangibles, and he really could go down as the best. Sickle cell anemia is the blood condition. Okay. Um, okay. Maybe that was what I heard. Are the Chiefs going to play their starters in Week 17? I wanted Mahomes to get 5,000. I don't think so. I mean, it depends if we win tomorrow. If we do win tomorrow, I don't think so, but there's always a chance. I don't think that there's really much point in bringing our guys out starting in Week 17, especially that if we've got everything locked up. It wouldn't make much sense. They could. I don't think that they would, though, but anything's possible. It really is. Pringle needs to take D-Rob's spot. I agree. Kelce needs 60 yards to break Kittle's record. Yep. He'll get that. He will get that tomorrow. I guarantee that. I'm a Falcons fan. You guys are gonna freaking murder us. We suck. Well, at least you're honest, Mr. Troll. At least you're honest. Yeah, I think that it's gonna be a fun game for Chiefs fans, but it's gonna be rough for Falcons fans. But one of the notes that I wrote down for this game, I didn't write down many because I come on here sometimes without much preparation. I just kind of talk, but in all caps, I wrote Falcons choke a lot. So I think that that's a very, very good thing for the Chiefs. Do fall behind. The Falcons just can't take a lead. I mean, I think that ever since they lost that Super Bowl to the Patriots, they just haven't been the same. They can't hold on to leads. So if we did fall behind, which I do not expect, but if we did, because this is going to be a tougher game, I don't have any faith in the Falcons holding on to a lead. I really don't. What are your expectations for Le'Veon? Le'Veon's not going to get a ton of carries tomorrow. I can't see it. Maybe they give him some, but he'll get a lot of carries on third and short and not really any time else. I think that they're going to really go heavy on the pass because, like I said, the Falcons don't have a good pass D. So they're just going to give it to Mahomes, let him make plays, and that's how we're going to win this game. Better matchup for the Super Bowl, Packers or Bucks. It's actually the Packers, and I think that the reason being is because the Bucks can put pressure with their front four. And I'm not saying that Mahomes does not play well under pressure, but I mean, the less pressure, the better you're going to play. So, in my opinion, the Packers would be a better matchup for the Chiefs, and I think that they would probably um, like it more because I mean that's a game that's going to be very little defense and a lot of offense. The Bucks played very well today. I think that they held the Lions to 7 points. I think. Um, Honestly, the Packers are probably a better team, but something about that Bucks pass rush, I don't really want to see it. I really don't. Kittle is always hurt. Availability is the best ability, right? Yes, that's what it's like in the NFL. I'm a little bit worried about Eric Fisher. He talks about his back injuries. Um, yeah, he dealt with a tight back last week. I think we're getting Mike Remmers back, who was also out with a back injury as well. So we're gonna have to wait and see on that. But um, this win's important because we need to give our guys a chance to get better. We haven't had an off week in a while, so get that one seed, let everybody go home, rest our starters, and let them watch the first round of the playoffs at home in the comfort of their own home. I think that's the best chance for this team to succeed. This playoff run. Let's see. State Farm Bowl. You want it to happen? Rodgers versus Mahomes. Yeah, I would want that to happen. We didn't get to see that last year because Mahomes got injured, but I would really like to see that matchup. I really would. Let's see. I bet they play Mahomes for a quarter just to keep him fresh in week 17, assuming they win tomorrow. I would say the same. Maybe they give him one drive, maybe two. He would definitely not play the whole game, but maybe they give him some time just to make sure, like you said, that he doesn't get too rusty. How do you feel about the team's cap situation for the next years? Our cap actually right now is not that bad. I think that the cap situation, considering all the guys that we just signed this offseason, bringing in guys like Kelce, Jones, Mahomes. I mean, I think we signed those three players north of what? Would it be $700 million or something like that? Like I can't remember exactly how much those guys were added together, but we signed all three of those players to more than $500 million. So I think considering that, our cap's actually pretty good. Frank Clark's definitely eating up a lot of that though. Um, okay, Cole. I mean, to be fair though, the Lions also had like 6 coaches that didn't play because of COVID concerns. They had, I think they got contract traced, and it came back to them, so it wasn't really fair. Um, but we'll see. Bucks will lose in the wild card. Anytime that they play a good team, they fold. Do you agree? I think I could say that, but honestly, the same thing could be said for the NFC because look at the Packers. They have beaten one team that's over 500. The Saints have shown major problems. The Seahawks have a terrible defense. The Bucks, they're all over the place. So the NFC is going to be a very fun conference to watch because I could literally see just about any team make it out of that conference. I really could. So we'll have to wait and see, but I think that we could see a lot of surprise upsets in the playoffs on the NFC side because all of those teams have a very glaring weakness. It's just a matter of who's going to come out ahead. Um, Back and neck for Emmers. I'm not too sure if he's coming back, but um, yeah, I saw that he had a back injury. I heard that Tyreek Hill sits out of practice today because of the hamstring. Yeah, I actually found that out during the stream. So that's not really good, but I think that if he doesn't play tomorrow, it's not the end of the world. Again, it's a week 16 matchup against I want to say they're 5-8, a 5-8 team. Um, Call it disrespect. I just don't really take the Falcons very seriously. Um, we should win this game with or without Tyreek Hill. Do you think that Kelce has a chance to go down as the greatest tight end ever? He'd have to pass Tony G in 10,000 yards or so. But if he played long enough, he could do it. Honestly, I said that a while ago that he could become the GOAT of tight ends if he keeps putting up these stats. I know that sounds like blasphemy, but if he puts up the amount of stats that he is this year for another like 5 to 7 years, I mean, he's going to be very good. And people forget that Gronk and Kelce are basically the same age. I think they are the same age. And I think Kelce's put up better stats all across the board. So, in my opinion, he's already better than Gronk, and he's going to keep getting better. I think that by the end of his career, if he's not the best, he'll be top 5 for sure. Kansas City just has a luck at getting tight ends, I guess. Let's see. We need to cut Frank Clark before his dead cap gets worse. I agree. I think next year next year, I think he's getting 25 mil with a lot of more money and incentives. So we're going to have to either restructure that or cut him as of right now. In the long run, where do you want this channel to go? Like, what is the goal/career you want to pursue? Are you wanting to maybe grow your account and make that your job, or be like a Chiefs announcer? Honestly, Adley, that's a good question. Right now, I'm kind of focusing all on YouTube. I'd like to do something with the Chiefs someday, Chiefs or the Royals, but I haven't really thought about that too much. I mean, right now, I'm just kind of having fun making videos, and we're growing a lot. I mean, like I said, I think we've gotten like 400 or 500 subscribers in the last week or so. So we're growing pretty sizably as of right now. And the goal for the YouTube channel is to get it as big as I can. I think that we can hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of next year. So that's the goal as of right now. But I'm gonna I'm gonna try to take this as far as I can. What free agent from another team do you want as a Chief next year? That's a good question. Honestly, that's a really good question. Let me check that out actually. Free agents of 2020. I haven't done much research on the class. Let's see. Clowney's a free agent. I really don't want him. Freeman, the running back, don't need him. Let's see. Ooh, Everson Griffin, the defensive end would be a very good addition. I could see him potentially getting signed to us. I think that I mean, I'm looking at guys right now. I don't really know a ton that really stick out to me, but I think that you bring in another edge rusher and maybe a linebacker or two. There's some defensive tackles on the board though. We could get those guys. Darcy, how do you feel about the Bills coming to Arrowhead or Ravens in the playoffs? I think that we beat both of those teams. The Chiefs are just by far and away a better squad than both of those teams. So I think that would be a very good matchup for the Chiefs. But I want to see. I want to see if the Ravens could do anything in the playoffs. I mean, until they can win a playoff game, they're not really a threat to me. But the Bills will be a fun matchup. They really would be. Because I think that's really the only team that could stop this team from potentially three-peating. I'm getting ahead of myself. Going back to back. That's a topic for another video. We're gonna have to take care of business this year first, but get ready for some content this summer because if we do go back to back, I'm gonna be a very cocky person, which is it's gonna make the videos really entertaining. But if you're an opposing fan, you're gonna hate my viewpoint. So we'll have to wait and see. But hopefully the Chiefs take care of business. Are you just talking about the Chiefs game or the NFL in general? Just talking about the Chiefs game right now. If you got an NFL question, I'd be happy to answer it. We do try to talk. You try to talk some NFL football, but right now it's specifically Chiefs. Tyreek was limited in practice today, not out. Okay, I didn't know that. Um, Honestly, they might play it safe tomorrow and not play him. Um, we'll have to wait and see though. Let's see. I'm saying that he's suffering from both, according to the Chiefs website. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you might as well rest him. Can you give your thoughts about Josh Allen? Well, looking at your profile picture, it appears that you are a Bills fan. You know, in my opinion, Josh Allen's not quite there yet. I think that he's better than a lot of people think he is, but the major problem that I have with him is he's not too accurate. Um, I think that you guys are another offensive piece away from being a very good team. As the Bills overall, I think that you're not quite there yet, but if you guys load up this offseason, you'll be a very good team next year, a very good team. But this year I can't see anybody beating the Chiefs. I just can't. Call me delusional, call me crazy. That's just my opinion. Let's see. Who do you think is the best Chiefs receiving, including tight ends ever? Oh, if we're including tight ends, the best receiver is Tony G. It would have to be, but the best wide receiver, ooh, that's shoot, I don't even know who the best wide receiver would be, honestly. Chiefs haven't really had like a historic like wide receiver. I looked it up the other day. I think Dwayne Bowe is like third in receiving yards all time or something like that. So we haven't really had a wide receiver that's taken the game by storm, but um, we can obviously draft tight ends well. That's for sure. Let's see. Byron Pringle is way better than D-Rob. You think that they should play Pringle more? I do. Pringle is coming off of IR, so that's probably why they haven't played him. Well, they did play him last week, kind of, but they didn't really give him a ton of time. So I think that you potentially move away from Robinson next year. You just give the job to Pringle, and I think that we would get a lot more production. I trust Pringle a lot more than I do Robinson, and that's saying a lot because he went to K-State. I'm a Jayhawks fan, so it kind of pains me to say that, but Pringle's actually been good. I want to give him credit. Pringle has actually been a pretty good receiver so far this year, and I've been impressed. Michael, I enjoyed your stream, the Bills and Steelers game one day. If you can do the same for the Chiefs game, I've gotten that comment a lot. A lot of people want me to stream the game. It's gonna be a tough one. I don't really like to stream during my own games because I'm really like nervous and I'm kind of just locked in on the game. But maybe I will. I'll do that in the future. Um, Atchison Globe needs a Chiefs reporter. Well, maybe I'll look him up. Maybe I'll look him up. You guys could use Allen Robinson. Oh my gosh, if we got Allen Robinson, could you imagine? I mean, could you imagine? I would take Allen Robinson over Demarcus Robinson any day of the week. I mean, any day of the week. How do you feel when people say Rodgers is more valuable to the Packers than Mahomes is to the Chiefs? I mean, I think that they're wrong. I mean, people always say that Mahomes has better weapons, which I guess is true, but look at the Packers' weapons. They have Aaron Jones, a very good running back, Devontae Adams, who debatably is the best receiver in the game, and Tonyan's a pretty good tight end. So the excuse that Packers fans use that they don't have weapons, it's not a good argument. It really is not a good argument. So I think that Mahomes is more valuable, and that's why I think that we're going to win the Super Bowl this year because Patrick Mahomes has shown that when he's on the field, he makes such a big impact and he always keeps his team in it. I think that Mahomes is more valuable to the Chiefs than Rodgers is to the Packers. Is Mahomes overrated? Short answer is hell no. He's not overrated. Will DeMarcus? Ooh, I don't know where I saw DeMarcus there. Will Taco Charlton be available by the playoffs? I don't think so. I think he broke his leg, so I'm pretty sure that he's out for the year. But I liked him. I think that he played pretty well considering it was a pretty low risk, but he was pretty solid for this Chiefs team. Let's see. Fun fact, Chiefs did not lose a game on the road in the regular season. Yep, we were very good this year on the road. We're always pretty good on the road. We don't really lose a lot of games to begin with, but the road is an area in which we excel. I think Rodgers is more important to the Packers just because they don't have as many Oh, here we go. The offensive weapons, sure, the Chiefs technically have a better receiving core, but don't act like Rodgers has scrubs because that's just not true. It's not a good narrative. What happens to Tyreek Hill? I think that he's just injured a little bit with that. I want to say hamstring. He'll probably play tomorrow. I don't know if that'd be a good decision, but I could see him playing tomorrow. No, he didn't. This isn't. Hold on. Now I gotta check. Unless somebody can fact check that, I don't think he did. Yeah, where the hell are you seeing that? As far as I'm aware, that is not true. Hold on. Can anybody verify that? um, talk about the backfield and how the Chiefs will persevere. In my honest opinion, Bell looks like he's running in sand. Go Chiefs! Best wishes to you with this channel. You are the front end of the dynasty. I appreciate it, man. I think that Bell is a little bit of he's not a liability, but he doesn't look like the Le'Veon Bell that we saw in Pittsburgh. I wasn't expecting him to be the all-pro guy that he was, but I thought that he would be better. And I think that part of that is due to the offensive line. The offensive line is not good at giving our running backs holes and lanes to run, but I would have liked to see him get a little bit more of a burst and get a little bit more yards on the initial carries. So I think that we'll probably persevere rather. Our running game definitely isn't bad, but it's going to be a little bit unfortunate without Clyde. Fumble. I don't even fumble. What? Fumbles seem to be prevalent thing this year across the NFL. Do you think that COVID? I had a stroke reading that. I don't know if that was just me, but I had like a stroke reading that. So we're gonna have to wait and see if you can retype that. I think you're crazy. Robinson has proven himself better than Pringle. Pringle hasn't really delivered. I think I don't like Robinson. Honestly, I don't really scream about many Chiefs players, but like last week when Robinson returned that punt that he ended up fumbling into the back of the end zone, I screamed, Robinson just sucks. He's not good. Robinson's not good. But we'll see. Knowing you're a Hawks fan, you think we can compete with Gonzaga in March? Yeah, we did lose to Gonzaga earlier this year, but the Jayhawks have looked good. I think that we've gotten 3 top 15 wins. I think we've beaten 3 teams within the top 25 or top 20. So that's pretty good, but I'm pretty sure Gonzaga lost Suggs for the year. So the Jayhawks are going to have a chance. Trust me. The Jayhawks, they're going to have a chance to compete for a championship this year. Is Corey looking for a new job next year? If you don't know who he is, he's an assistant offensive line coach. I didn't know who he was. I did not know who he was. Is he? Don't know who he is. If he's looking for a new job, I think we could bring in somebody else. We got a lot of good coaches on this staff. I wouldn't be too worried if he left. I'm wondering with a nickname like yours, if you're from Atchison. Oh, that's not for me. That's very true. That's a very true comment. I think that was one of the best things I've heard all night. The Packers' offensive line is just better. Do you think that the Chiefs could potentially draft the next Derrick Thomas or Justin Houston soon? Feels like we've had a great D end in a while. I want the next Thomas. You know, I would like that. You don't really draft generational talent like that a lot. I'm not really going to complain because we did draft Patrick Mahomes, who, in my opinion, is the greatest thing I've ever seen. So, I'm not really going to complain too much about the lack of talent that Brett Veach has been able to draft because, I mean, how can I? We've got the best team in the NFL, and Patrick Mahomes is the best thing I've ever seen. If it were up to you, what position would you draft for this upcoming offseason? Offensive line and a pass rusher. Those are the two needs that I think would make this team even better. Hitchens is the one that is on the COVID list, not Hill. Okay, thank you. I knew that Hitchens was on there. And I can't remember what happened to Wilson, but he's not playing tomorrow either. Hopefully he gets better soon. I want Mahomes to be the MVP again. I don't know about you, but I just don't see Aaron Rodgers in the MVP over Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I would agree. I think Mahomes is the MVP right now, but we'll wait and see. Bell is past his prime. I think that he would be better with a better O-line. I mean, obviously, I think that you put a better offensive line. If you put a good offensive line behind any running back, they're gonna have a chance to succeed. Can you have Ryan from RGR on here on your live videos as a guest someday? I would love to have RGR on. I'll try to contact him. I mean, RGR's he's a busy dude, but yeah, I'm not against that. I like RGR stuff. He's one of the few creators that I think puts out good Chiefs content. I think that I'm up there with him as some of the best Chiefs content creators on the platform. So I'm a big fan of RGR. But I'll have to see. Maybe I'll shoot him an email or something like that. Let's see. Bro, D-Rob won NFC special teams. D-Rob? NFC? I don't get that comment. Let's see. What's up, Brandon? What's up? I think Robinson knows how to run routes better than Pringle does. Pringle hasn't really done much. I mean, Robinson's a good route runner. He just has pretty bad instincts, I guess. He just fumbles the ball too much. He can't catch the ball. I mean, he makes a lot of dumb decisions, to say the least. What I meant is, will he be looking for a new job next year, considering Eric Bieniemy will be gone? He could be. He could be. He might even move up. If Bieniemy does leave, but we'll see. What team should the Chiefs go against in the Super Bowl? In my opinion, preseason I picked the Seahawks. I don't know if the Seahawks can make it out of the NFC. Their defense is getting better, but it still, in my opinion, is a liability. Shout out Brandon Rodgers, but which team would I pick? Honestly, I don't want to pick the Saints because I've learned that if you pick the Saints, most of the time it's not a good pick. I would personally say I'm going to go with the Packers. I just think that they have Aaron Rodgers playing good football, and that team, I guess, overall is probably my favorite to get out of the NFC, but I could see any team really making out of that conference. It's wide open as of right now. Thank you, Cole. I knew it was something like that. Michael, I think that you should do an NFL draft live stream draft day. It would be great. I'll do that. I will do that. I tried that last year. It didn't work, but I'm determined to get that done this year. Let's see. Do you think that the Chiefs should get richer? I think that he's got how many years does he have left on his contract right now? Fisher's been solid, but I don't. If they could upgrade over him, I think that that's a good choice, but I don't really think that right now we have anybody that could really take his spot and be any better. So, I don't think that that's really the issue. I think that we should probably focus on drafting the positions around him because, in my opinion, we're not going to get Schwartz back. I think that this is just kind of Schwartz last year, and Maybe he comes back, but I can't see it. Okay. I'm not even going to entertain that comment. We need the draft to obtain some linebackers so we can contain the run more. Yeah, that'd be a good pickup as well. We could definitely use some of that. What's my score prediction? You know what? Give me That's a good question. Give me Chiefs 45. Damn, that's a high score. I don't know if I want to pick that. Actually, no. Chiefs 42. Um, Falcons 24. So 42-24. I know it's a pretty favorable score for the Chiefs, but they're at home. They're not playing a very good defense. I expect the Chiefs to win this game and wrap everything up in the AFC. He runs backwards way too much. Like, bro, you aren't Tyreek Hill or Mecole. I agree. He just makes dumb decisions. It's tough to watch sometimes. D-Rob doesn't know his limitations. Yeah, he just not a very good decision maker. Darcy, great show. Have a great holidays. You too, Gary. Appreciate seeing you. Chiefs are gonna win. Yes, they are. 45-20. I can see that. That's a likely score. Which team is the greatest threat to the Chiefs in the playoffs? You know, Andrew, that's a very good question, and I'm gonna kind of hold off. No, you know what? I can't not answer you because that is a very good question. Just know that will be a video topic come playoff time. I'm gonna have to get my boy Michael Hebner in on that one, but in my opinion, it's the Bills just because I think that they're the second best team in the AFC. But really, I mean, honestly, the Browns might be up there. I know that sounds really weird due to the fact that it is the Browns, but the Browns are playing pretty good football. Obviously, they have Kareem Hunt, who, I mean, he's been pretty good. We know all about Kareem Hunt. So, I mean, the Browns could do something too. I definitely think that the Steelers are the most overrated team in football. They're not making it out of the first round. You can mark that, clip that, whatever you want to do. You can bring me back to this video if they do win a playoff game, but they're not going to win one. In my opinion, they've lost their last 3 games, maybe 4 games. No, their last 3 games. They are not going to win. What do you think of Nick Wright's scenario of the Chiefs on draft night or before trading the 32nd pick and something else for OBJ? You know what, Luke? I did I did see that. I think that would be a really dumb idea. I don't really I mean, when you look at the teams that Odell has been on, he usually kind of ruins it. I mean, I don't want to talk poorly on OBJ, but he's a cancer. I mean, the man literally is a cancer in the locker room. I think that he expects way too much of himself. I mean, he thinks that he's the best receiver in the league, and in my opinion, he's not top 10. So he's got this confidence that he shouldn't have. And when you look at what the Browns are doing without OBJ, it's almost like, well, shoot, why should we trade for him? Baker and the Browns are a better team without OBJ than they are with him. So that should be a telltale sign that he's more of a problem than he is the answer. We'll wait and see though. Do you think that Brady and the Bucks are going to do anything in the playoffs this year? I mean, I can't see it. I don't see the Bucks doing anything this year. It's just kind of early. But you know, I mean, anything's possible. It really is. In my opinion, though, they're probably not going to win too many games. They'll win 1 game, maybe 2 tops. Steelers are on a 4-game losing streak after tomorrow's game. Yep. They're not good. They're just not good. And I've been saying it all along. OBJ is similar to AB in a lot of ways. Well, at least AB was a better receiver. OBJ has never really been on OBJ's never been on AB's level. Do you think that at the end of the Mahomes career he will be better than Tom Brady? He might not have more rings, but in my opinion, um, his statistics and his overall talent is what's going to push him ahead. In my in my sorry, I just read another comment. In my opinion, I think that he will be better than Tom Brady, but he's also, in my opinion, the best quarterback I've ever seen. Anyway, let me kind of get to this comment because it made me laugh. This comment genuinely made me laugh. Um, let's see. Honestly, I think Pittsburgh is the biggest threat as of now. Honestly, Pittsburgh to me, I just don't see it. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it. Um, they just have way too many holes. Um, I mean, I could be wrong, but I can't see that. Let's see. OBJ isn't even a top half 16, much less top 10. Honestly, I think that'd be a pretty dumb decision for us to trade for OBJ. I think that we'd honestly get more of a use out of drafting an offensive tackle or maybe even an edge rusher. It'd make more sense, but I mean, I would be really disappointed if we traded for OBJ. I really would be. All right, so we're an hour and 15 minutes in. Let's get all these questions in. I know we have 100 people watching. Shout out to everybody who did decide to come by tonight, the day before the game. So ask away. I'll try to get to all of your questions, but I'm starting to lose my voice, and I need that for tomorrow. So I'm going to try to wrap this up in the next 10 to 15 minutes. I'll tell you what, it's kind of hard to talk for an hour and a half, just straight. Steelers versus Bengals, the game, Juju got instant yeah. That's a pretty big meme going around right now. Dude, Mike Tomlin's a scary dude when he gets mad. I'm sure that Tomlin went in the locker room, and when Juju's just like disappointed after a loss, Tomlin was probably like, if you ever do that shit again, I'm gonna cut you or something like that. Because I think that everybody's pretty sick of Juju doing his TikTok dances at midfield. Let's see. What do you think of the new playoff format that the NFL has made? I'm not a fan of it. I personally think that the best two teams from the conference should get the bye. They've done that for the past, I don't know, 20, 25 years. So it wouldn't make a ton of sense to change that, especially because, like, if the Chiefs did lose, let's just say they did lose like 2 or 3 games, they wouldn't have the 1 seed. I mean, think about that. They could literally go 13-3 and not have the 1 seed. That wouldn't almost be fair. So I think that they should go back to the 2-team bye system where the first 2 seeds in the conference get a bye come first round of the playoffs. But we'll see. I think they might go back to doing that, but I could be wrong. A family friend after the Washington-Pittsburgh game referred to Pittsburgh as Slutsburg. Oh, Lord. Is the Chiefs defense good enough to win the Super Bowl? I think that they are. I think that they're good enough just because, I mean, the offense is so good that the defense doesn't have to be as good as they were last year, because I fully expect our offense to show up, and our defense will do just enough to help us win it. I don't think that they're going to be as amazing as they were last year, but quite frankly, we don't need that. So expect a defense that will get stops and get off the field, but don't expect the level of defense that we saw last year around this time. They're going to have to let the rest of the league shoot steroids to make it fair against the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs are just on another level. At the end of the day, the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL, the most complete team. And honestly, and I don't know if I want to say this, but if this Super Bowl is almost the Chiefs Super Bowl to lose, because they're better than everybody else. I'll try to find it. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that the Chiefs have I think they have the best record in franchise. Yeah, they have the best record so far in franchise history. If they win tomorrow, it cements that they're 13-1. I mean, this is the best Chiefs team quite possibly in my lifetime. Well, definitely in my lifetime. But I think that this team is good enough to win a Super Bowl. And at the end of the day, if they can't get it done, that's on them. But I think that they should take care of business this year. I'm telling you what, if they do win it, though, I'm going to have to make sure to say we ran it back. which I'll put up for sale as well. It's the run defense that it's pick that up where we're going back to back. I would agree. Honestly, the rush defense hasn't even been that bad. I think we're probably like 30th still, but you see what we did with Alvin Kamara? That man had 6 touchdowns yesterday. So I'm not really concerned about the running game come playoff time. What do you think Spags has meant to this defense turning the corner from the Sutton years? Well, the difference between Spags and Sutton is Sutton didn't make adjustments. Sutton just said, honestly, I mean, Sutton basically said, fuck it, go out there and play. And obviously, we had a lot of talent that didn't get utilized. But Spags is able to make adjustments mid-game and turn it around. Like, if we aren't playing the best game, we will make adjustments and send the guys out, and they'll play differently. And that's something that Sutton did not do, which is why I think that Spags is just a better coach all around because, I mean, Sutton had talent. He had Eric Berry in his prime. I mean, Eric Berry in his prime and guys like Tom Bahali and Justin Houston. I mean, he had talent. He just didn't do anything with it. So, in my opinion, I think that Spags was pretty important schematically. But honestly, I think that he just makes adjustments, and quite honestly, Sutton just didn't. What do you think about Mahomes versus Brady in the Super Bowl? That'd be a really cool matchup. I can't see the Bucs making it, but if they did, it'd be a really fun matchup. And I would take the Chiefs in that game. Who do you think is the most complete team in the NFC? Honestly, it's the Saints. The most complete team from top to bottom would be the New Orleans Saints, in my opinion. Titans versus Chiefs AFC Championship game, Billy. I'm not sure. I mean, if the Titans can get there, sure. But I think that I'd love to see the Titans back at Arrowhead Stadium because we got to show them last year what we're capable of, and I think that we do the same thing this year. Let's see. If the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, we'll be the first team in the NFL to run this thing back. No, we wouldn't. The Patriots won it in 2000 and then I think 2001. And I want to say that the Broncos did it in 97, 98. I could be wrong about that, but we wouldn't be the first team to do it, but we're an elite company, that's for sure. We would be an elite company. Crazy that Rodgers probably wins the MVP over Mahomes, and Rodgers only faced 2 winning teams this year and lost both. Honestly, Sydney, I don't think that he loses. I think that Mahomes has a good game tomorrow, and he kind of just shows everybody that he still is the MVP. But if he doesn't get the MVP, I mean, oh well. I guess it doesn't really matter. He's focused on the playoffs, and I think that if he doesn't take the regular season MVP, he'll take the Super Bowl one for sure. Yeah, the Patriots did not do that in 15 and 16. In fact, I think they didn't win it in 16, did they? Or yeah, because 17 wasn't 17 the Falcons game? We always bring up the Falcons on this channel, but when the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead. Yeah. Mahomes would be the youngest to go back to back. You love to see it. No, the Patriots didn't win it in the Patriots, I don't know my Patriots history. I'm pretty sure they won it in 17 and then maybe in 15 they won it as well. Yeah, I think they did win it in 15. They didn't go back to back though. Since the early 2000s. I know that for a fact. Yeah, the 03-04 Pats were the ones that went back to back. Yeah, so again, I appreciate everybody for coming out. I got 120 people. I still want to end it, but quite honestly, I'm pretty tired. So I think we're going to call it a stream. I appreciate everybody for coming out. Tomorrow we're going to have a big game. I think that the Chiefs will take care of business against the Atlanta Falcons at home to secure the number 1 seed. So if you haven't already yet, subscribe to this channel. We're very close. Oh, no, we actually just did hit 4.5K. So we are halfway there to 5,000. We're going to keep growing, keep getting bigger, and hopefully by this time next year, we're at around 10,000. But the road to 10,000 is a long one, so if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to help this channel out. So you can also follow me on Instagram at KC_sports report. If you check out who I'm subscribed to, Darcy Sports Network is our backup channel. We haven't done much content on that, but if you haven't yet, subscribe to that channel. I would really appreciate that. So with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon, hopefully recapping a Chiefs win over the Atlanta Falcons. So with that being said, everybody enjoy the rest of your Saturday night and Merry Christmas.